everyone, I'm Lorraine Sish and I'd like to welcome you to Stamp with Lorraine. Today I have a tutorial for you that features a great new set, actually a bundle, a set and a punch that is featured in the new 2020-2021 Annual Stampin' Up! Catalog. This one's going to be a lot of fun and it's real simple too. A lot of options that you can do with it. Keep it simple or kick it up, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. So stay tuned. Today we're featuring the Posted For You stamp set with a coordinating punch. It comes as a bundle, of course, with for a 10% discount. And I'm also going to use mostly in colors as well. So you get a little taste of what all that looks like together. So it's really simple cards. I just started playing with this last night. I said, oh, I really want to give myself a reason to get working on it. So we're going to take, I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight paper, and we're going to have a white base with the blue matte next, and then the white after that. And remember what I said, to underneath, since a lot of this isn't shown, you can always die cut or punch out something in the center so that you can use that later. So using this, this is what I used on my original card, but then I said, oh, let me try some others, and this is what I did. So it doesn't have to be just one piece. It could be smaller pieces cut out, and it's as long as it's going to cover with your next layer, you're good to go. I wouldn't do this too much if you have a very thin piece of DSP, because it's too thin you might see some contour. It depends what you're putting over it. But as I was doing this, I was thinking, I said, wow, look how this is kind of a neat effect, just having this on here, and then these little openings, maybe little things in there, and then maybe something else popped up on top there. I thought that kind of looked cool, so I might play around with that idea. For the meantime, this can go off to the side, and this is going to go on top. So I'm going to glue this down first, get that out of the way. Okay, and put that aside. Okay, now for the postage stamp part of it. Oops. This is, oh, dropped something. This is what we're going to be making. This is what we're doing today, using that little postage stamp. We're just going to stamp that. Simple, simple, sort of the monochromatic look. So we're going to take the Love and the Misty Moonlight ink. No crazy techniques here. I'm just kind of showing off the stamp set and the colors today. So there's the Misty Moonlight. Let that dry for a second. I'll leave this open because I'll need it again. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to stamp the cancellation stamp and the sentiment up here. I'm going to do this one first because I don't want to put this too far over and then have it cover too much of that. So I'm going to do this first. And also I'm going to stamp off first. Let me just get a scrap paper for that. I'm going to stamp off so that I get a lighter look, because that's what a lot of the cancellation stamps look like from the post office. They look a little faded sometimes, or even not even so clear. So if you wanted to make it look authentic, you can even make it look more worn. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this here. Okay, I'm just getting it so that stamp goes sort of in between the your and the way. Okay, sending love your way. And then we just have to punch out a couple of these from the Misty Moonlight, just plain. And now I'm ready to punch this out. And there goes my garage. I had a feeling Fred would be moving the garage door while I'm on the meeting. That's okay. So we're just going to overlap those, and then this can go up with dimensionals. So these will get glued down. I'm going to do them both at the same time so I can position them a little bit better. Kind of do them both at the same time. Might be a little easier. Okay, and then this can go up with dimensionals. I'll put this on the card next, and I'll show you some different options we can do to kick it up a notch. Okay, so if we wanted to make it look just like this, put that with dimensionals right there. Or you can take your blender pen, and because this is water-based ink, with your blender pen you can just spread that ink around to get just a little bit of coloring there. So if you wanted to have a little bit more color, a little blue flower in there, you can do that. Or if you wanted to, you can maybe even color the whole thing and pop that on. So I'm just going to put that on there so I have a different option. So it's no longer monochromatic, but it brings just a little bit of extra color there. So putting that on with the dimensional dots. Now here's a tip one lady does that I saw on YouTube. Sometimes it's hard for some people to be pulling these off. I find it fairly easy. I pull the straight edge to get the backs of the dimensionals off, but they stick to your fingers and everything. One person uses to take the pick tool and just kind of pokes it and lifts it up. And then they're kind of just right all on there. It takes a little practice to kind of get under it and pull it off on an angle, but that's a quick, easy way to do it. Kind of a neat idea. Okay, so two different versions of that card. Okay, so other suggestions of things that you can do with the Posted For You set and the punch is just, my other examples. There we go. Doing tone on tone. Bumblebee, magenta, misty moonlight, just jade, and the cinnamon spice. Cider, cinnamon cider. Just tone on tone stamping and arranging the little postage stamps around. So just on one sheet of Whisper White, the saying comes with it. I love the sayings. Just a note, sending love your way, and happy birthday. Pretty much all you need for most of your cards. And two of these I popped up with dimensional dots. Didn't have to be straight. Purposely put them all kind of askew, and I just thought that was really pretty. So that's another example. And then here's another one where I kept the bird part of the stamp plain, didn't color it in, using the cinnamon cider and the bumblebee and the ribbon that coordinates. And then this, I wanted to show you how I did this. Remember last week on the bird card, I showed you how I used this, the smallest die from the Stitch So Sweetly set. I used the smallest rectangle, and I didn't worry about the edges being seen. I just overlaid that label. So kind of the same thing. I was struggling with, I used the smallest die cut again, but then I wanted a little something more, and I was playing around with it. I had already embossed this. I definitely wanted that embossed in white on the black, but it was just too small to use alone here. And I was thinking, oh, what am I going to do? So finally I said, well, let me cut down the white just to give it a little bit of a border, so that makes it pop a little bit. The other was just a little too dull. So I didn't put it on yet because I wanted to show you what I did. I cut it in half, and then I just angled the edges in so that the scallops wouldn't show on the side. And that gave me a border just on top and below. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of that. And then I could stick that on there. Okay. I love how the cinnamon cider looks like leather or suede when you use those stitched dies or the punches. So pretty sweet on that. So there's another example. And then just using the punch with your DSP, again, using the coordinating in color DSP, just punch out several of your postage stamps and arrange them around. Now they didn't fit exactly, so I did have to cut off the side. So what you want to do is you want to center your the middle column first, and then put these over here. And I found out if I just cut off in the second notch of the what would be the perforations, that worked perfectly. So I cut this in the second notch and arranged them nice, and the middle one I popped up with the minstrel dot. So this one I saw online and just kind of copied that, or pasted as they might say. Okay, another example where you can make the postage stamp just the main focal point, just one. Little happy birthday down there. And I used Rococo Rose and just jade on this. The ribbon was sort of a last minute. I said, oh, it would be nice to add that gingham ribbon. So it's not even glued in yet. I just kind of tucked it in, so I'll adhere that a little bit later. So there we go with that, colored in. So you have colored in, not colored in, tone on tone. You have just the stamp, the punch, and again, the options there. One other example is, well, here's where I cut out just the center, because that's not going to be seen. So I may as well cut that out and use it another place. The next layer in white, I used the new Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder to give it just that little bit of texture. Looks like fabric, really pretty. I used the Forever Greenery DSP, just cut them with the punch. And Just Jade, I embossed that with the new embossing folder as well. And it's best to punch first and then emboss, because when you emboss, it weakens the fibers a little bit, and if you try to cut it or punch, it might not get a clean cut where you've embossed it. So try to punch first and then run it through your embossing machine. Okay, so then these are going to go on here. Each one of these little postage stamps is popped up. And then I couldn't decide, and I'll probably end up just doing another one. Couldn't decide which center I wanted. Punch this with the postage stamp punch as well. So you can do that right in the middle. I didn't want to have anything too big to cover up the other pretty patterns there. Or using one of the Stitch So Sweetly. That seems to fit nicely in there as well. And here's another idea of maybe using the reverse side. Gives a little bit more modern graphic look, but that's kind of fun too. So lots of ideas. I did all of these last night. I did this one this morning. So lots of fun to play with, lots of different ideas, and so simple. Oh, here's that embossing folder, the greenery that comes with the suite with the Forever Fern, the Forever Greenery DSP, all the coordinating products. So that's nice and thin. It'll fit in the mini embossing machine when it comes out, which hopefully will be soon. The big one's going to come out first. That one's in the mini catalog. I'm not sure it's totally available yet, but it will be available first, and then we'll see when the mini comes. So there you go. There's all the options using the Postage for You stamp set. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, because I sure enjoyed sharing it with you. So if you like the video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up down below, and also hit subscribe so I can keep you posted when new videos are coming up. Head on over to stampwithlorraine.com, where you'll find more information on this project as well as many others. And you can also find some information on Stampin' Up products and keep you informed about news in the Stampin' Up catalog and other specials that we have going on right now. So if you head on over there and you don't have a demonstrator, please sign up for my mailing list, and then we can stay in touch. So hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.